Hello, everyone. I'm Daryl, the host of Between the Numbers Sports podcast and show SEC Football. And I just want to give a quick thank you to all of the people who have tuned into the channel and supported and watched the videos and engaged. I want to say thank you. Obviously, I wouldn't have a platform, the platform that I do have, without your support. And I just want to encourage you to continue to like and comment and hit that bell notification button and subscribe to the channel and just stay up to date on all of the latest drops from this channel. So again, thank you for the support. All right, so we're going to be talking about the Missouri Tigers, them Tigers down in Columbia. There's a lot of Tigers in SEC. You got the LSU Tigers, you got the Auburn Tigers, and you have the Missouri Tigers. And who knows, I'm probably forgetting another Tiger. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about the Missouri Tigers. There is a lot of excitement in Columbia around this football team, and I think that they are poised to have another big season. And why do I say that, right? Well, we're gonna start off with the coaching staff. So we all know that last year Missouri snuck up. Well, I will say I'm going to say they snuck up on a lot of teams because I didn't think it was going to be that good. They had a 11-win season and they ended the season pretty much beating Ohio State in the bowl game. And so when you have that type of success, other teams are going to look to replicate and look to see what you did, and teams are going to start calling about your coaches. LSU, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but took two of their coaches. But offensive coordinator, Kirby Moore, right? So Kirby Moore is the offensive coordinator at Missouri, and at the end of the season, we all know that oh my God. Nick Saban decided to retire, right? And Kalen DeBoer decided to take the head coach's spot. Well, Kalen and that staff at Alabama reached out to Kirby Moore and tried to get him to come there as their offensive coordinator. And Kalen DeBoer decided to promote someone within the staff to the offensive coordinator position. Now, Kirby Moore does have a relationship with Kalen DeBoer. They work with each other together. They worked with each other together before, and so that was probably one. That was one of the reasons why he was reaching out to Kirby Moore, and also look what Kirby Moore did for Missouri. Before Kirby Moore got there, Missouri was 86 in total offense, and he took them to 29 last season. So you got to expect that they're going to be even better this season coming up. And he also turned Brady Cook, into a serviceable all SEC type quarterback, right? At one time, Brady Cook was getting booed by the home fans, by the Missouri fans, and he turned him into an all SEC candidate with his coaching and his play calling. And, Cook has a lot of weapons and a big arsenal of weapons to throw the ball to and to hand off the ball to. And so with Kirby Moore being back again, being that offensive coordinator and that coach and that mentor to Brady Cook, you got to expect a even more explosive offense in the 2024 season. And let's move to the next unit, right? So let's talk about the wide receivers. We all know who Luther Burton III is. If you don't know who he is, you probably live under a rock or you probably don't watch college football. But he's one of the top wide receivers in all of the SEC and in college football. He's coming back, right? He's one of the best wide receivers in the nation. He's a future first-round draft pick in next year's NFL draft. And he's a very dynamic playmaker. But he's also going to be on the field, sharing the field with another dynamic playmaker in the names of Mookie Cooper, if I'm saying that right. And there's a few other guys, Theo, and then this guy named Marquise Johnson. They are also going to be looking to create a splash and an impact on that offense. And so Brady Cook has a lot of guys in that arsenal to throw the ball to. And I was just talking about in the last video, Tennessee's wide receivers. And I'm going to talk about LSU wide receivers. And now we're talking about Missouri wide receivers. Man, the SEC has a lot of good wide receiver rooms this upcoming 2024 season, and it's kind of hard to tell who's the best wide receiver room. I'm still leaning LSU because, hey, I'm an LSU Tiger. You know, that's my team. That's my squad. But I'm not taking anything from Tennessee or Missouri. Moving on to the running backs, Cody Schrager was a huge part of that offense last season. He's no longer there. So Missouri's going to look to find someone to replace him. And from what I'm reading, they're going to look to do a duo type attack with two running backs with Carroll and Noel, right? So a thunder lightning type situation. Noel's a speed guy and Carroll's your power guy, right? So you're gonna just run the ball down the defense's throat with Carroll, and then when the defense is like, man, I done had enough, Noel is gonna look to get to the outside and score, right? And so those guys are also going to be game changers, and Missouri's offensive line is no slouch either. They're not a terrible unit. So look for those running backs to have a lot of success. The ground game, sorry, for the Missouri Tigers is serviceable and it looks promising. Obviously, you got to move on to the defensive side of the ball. And like I said, when you have success like Missouri had last season with winning 11 games and beating Ohio State, teams are going to come calling. And my LSU Tigers and Brian Kelly came calling. So we was able to pluck Blake Baker away from Missouri. Blake Baker previously coached at LSU under Coach O his last season there. He coached the linebackers. And so, Blake Baker loved coaching at LSU. He has a lot of ties to the state of Louisiana. And so he came back home to be the defensive coordinator. And he also took one of his defensive assistants with him to coach the defensive line at LSU. And so with that happening, right, and along with some players, just moving on, whether it's the pros or something of that nature. The defensive side of the ball took a hit, right? You lost a coach who came in and took Missouri's defense from the bottom and made them a very serviceable defense, finishing in the top. I think they finished like 33 overall, right, in total defense, which is not bad at all. It's not bad at all out of all of the teams in college football. And so you lose your defensive coordinator. A new defensive coordinator steps in, Corey Baton, and you lose a couple of guys, but then you also gain a couple of guys via the transfer portal, right? You gained a linebacker and Darius Smith and this other guy named Corey Flagg Jr. You get a stud cornerback, Torino Pride. And so from what I've seen, those guys are generating a lot of buzz. Now, Missouri wrapped up his spring practice a few days ago. They had their spring game. Sorry, they had their spring game, and some of the names that was kind of jumping out to me was Zion Young, Chris McClain, and the guys that I previously named on that defensive side of the ball. And so obviously it's going to be a challenge replacing the productivity from last season, right? But with the new defensive coordinator coming in, I expect him to be able to lead a competent and well-rounded unit. And so, obviously, it may be kind of bumpy at the beginning of the season, but Missouri has a very favorable schedule, which leads me into the next reason why I think Missouri is going to have a very good season. Their schedule. They don't have to play Georgia. They don't have to play Texas. They don't have to play Ole Miss. And they don't have to play LSU. And their road games don't start till a little later in the season. And so they should start off 4-0. They should start off undefeated 4-0. And with the schedule lacking some of the big dogs in the SEC, I see no reason why Missouri should not win 11 games and be able to clinch a playoff spot in the expanded playoff scenario this year. So 12 teams are able to make it to the playoffs, and I think Missouri has a very strong chance of making it to the playoffs. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that if Missouri don't have a double win season, like a double digit win season and make a playoff, then I think that that is going to be a disappointment to a lot of Missouri fans based off the tremendous amount of momentum that they are taking with them from last season into this season, and being able to build on keeping their offensive coordinator, Brady Cook, uh, coming in with another year under his belt and getting even better. You got your playmaker wide receiver Luther Burton III coming back, along with some other playmakers on the edge, on that offensive side of the ball. And I think that if Missouri does not have a double-digit win season and make it to the playoffs, it will be a disappointment to a lot of people who love and root and pull for that program. Um, and so I fully expect Missouri to be a very, very strong team to have to play and face. And I'm quite frankly, based off how LSU played them last season, how they played us, and how Luther Burton III tore our secondary up, I'm happy we're not playing them this season because I also have high hopes for LSU making the playoffs and making a deep run, and possibly winning a national championship in year 3 for Brian Kelly. And so I'm happy that Missouri is just one less team that we got to play. We already got to play Ole Miss. We already got to play Oklahoma, Alabama. So I'm happy we don't have to play Missouri. But so Missouri has, like I said, they have all of the ingredients to have success in this next season coming up in a few months. They got strong coaching. They got a dynamic offense. They got a decent defense, right? A serviceable defense, and they got a favorable schedule. So after winning 11 seasons last year, and so after winning 11 games last year, sorry, I said 11 seasons. After winning 11 games last year, there's no doubt in my mind that Missouri can make the expanded playoffs this season. It should not be a dream. It should be a realistic goal that they should be striding to achieve. And I think that they are striving to achieve that. I think it's either playoffs or bust. So that's all I got. Let me know in the comments if you think Missouri is going to make the playoffs. If you think Missouri is going to have another double-digit win season, right? They're going to kick a lot of ass this season. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if they're not going to have a good season. Let me know if they're going to suck. Just let me know what you guys think. Again, I want to thank everyone supporting the channel, and strongly encourage you guys to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so the channel can continue to grow. And until next time, I'm out.